Welcome to War Bioses, the podcast where we delve into the lives of history's most fascinating military leaders. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore the captivating story of Suleiman the Magnificent, the 10th Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. As we embark on this journey through time, imagine yourself standing amidst the bustling streets of 16th century Istanbul, surrounded by the majestic architecture, vibrant markets, and the sound of clanging swords from the nearby training grounds of the Janissaries. Suleiman's reign is often regarded as the golden age of the Ottomans, marked by remarkable military campaigns, administrative reforms, and a profound cultural flourishing. But before he became the legendary leader who would expand the empire's borders and leave an indelible mark on history, Suleiman was a young prince, shaped by the intrigues of the imperial court and the traditions of his ancestors. Born on November 6, 1494, in Trabzon, a coastal city on the Black Sea, Suleiman was the son of Sultan Selim I and his wife, Hiyasa Sultan. His early life was spent within the confines of the palace, surrounded by the opulence and intrigue that characterized Ottoman court politics. As a member of the imperial family, Suleiman's childhood was a complex blend of luxury and discipline, with an emphasis on education and martial training. He received a thorough grounding in Islamic theology, literature, and the arts, as well as in the military sciences and governance. As we delve into Suleiman's formative years, it becomes apparent that his upbringing was designed to prepare him for the highest offices in the land. The Ottoman Empire, under the leadership of his father, Selim I, had recently expanded its territories through a series of successful campaigns against the Safavid dynasty in Persia and the Mamluk Sultanate in Egypt. These conquests not only enlarged the empire's borders, but also brought immense wealth and prestige to the Ottoman court. However, they also created new challenges and rivalries that would test Suleiman's mettle as a future leader. The historical context of Suleiman's early years was marked by significant events that would shape his character and future path. The Ottoman Empire was at the forefront of a rapidly changing world, where the balance of power was shifting between East and West. The rise of European powers like Portugal, Spain, and the Holy Roman Empire posed new threats to Ottoman dominance, while the internal struggles within the empire itself, such as the Janissary Corps' growing influence, required careful navigation. Suleiman's relationship with his father was particularly influential during his formative years. Selim I, known for his military prowess and administrative skills, was a demanding figure who expected excellence from his sons. He ensured that Suleiman and his brothers received the best education available, with a focus on preparing them for future roles within the empire. This upbringing instilled in Suleiman a strong sense of duty, discipline, and ambition, qualities that would serve him well throughout his life. As Suleiman grew older, he became increasingly involved in the governance of the empire, often accompanying his father on military campaigns and participating in council meetings. These experiences provided him with invaluable insights into the workings of the Ottoman state and its military apparatus, as well as exposing him to the complexities of international diplomacy and the challenges of maintaining a vast and diverse empire. One notable example of Suleiman's early exposure to statecraft was his involvement in the Ottoman-Safavid conflict. In 1514, Selim I, which resulted in the Safavids, which resulted in the Battle of Chaldiran. Although Suleiman did not participate directly in the battle, he likely accompanied his father on the campaign and witnessed firsthand the military tactics and strategies employed by the Ottomans. The early influences on Suleiman's life were not limited to his family and the imperial court. The cultural and intellectual landscape of the Ottoman Empire during the 15th and 16th centuries was vibrant and eclectic, with scholars, poets, and architects from all over the Islamic world contributing to its richness. Suleiman's education and personal interests reflect this diversity, with a particular emphasis on Persian literature and the arts, which would later influence his own patronage of culture during his reign. As Suleiman ascended to the throne on September 22, 1520, following the death of his father Selim I, he stood at the precipice of a new era for the Ottoman Empire. The weight of responsibility was palpable, and the young sultan was determined to continue the expansionist policies that had characterized Ottoman rule under his predecessors. With an unwavering gaze, Suleiman surveyed the vast expanse of his empire, his mind racing with the possibilities of conquest and the imperatives of strategic leadership. One of his earliest and most significant military campaigns was the Siege of Belgrade in August 1521, a strategic fortress city located at the confluence of the Danube and Sava rivers. The city's defenders, a mix of Hungarian and Serbian troops, were well entrenched behind sturdy walls, but Suleiman was undaunted by the challenge. He deployed his army with precision, utilizing the terrain to his advantage as he orchestrated a relentless bombardment of the city's defenses. The successful capture of Belgrade on August 29, 1521, marked an important milestone in Suleiman's early reign, as it provided the Ottomans with a crucial foothold in Central Europe and paved the way for further conquests in the region. As news of the victory spread, Suleiman's reputation as a brilliant military strategist began to take shape. His ability to adapt to changing circumstances, combined with his unwavering resolve, inspired confidence among his troops and struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. Suleiman's military prowess was soon put to the test again in his campaign against the Kingdom of Hungary. The Ottoman army, led by Suleiman himself, defeated the Hungarian forces at the Battle of Mohacs on August 29, 1526, resulting in the death of King Louis II of Hungary and the subsequent partitioning of the kingdom. This decisive victory cemented Ottoman dominance over much of Eastern Europe and solidified Suleiman's reputation as a master of the battlefield. As he stood victorious on the plains of Mohacs, Suleiman was acutely aware of the human cost of war. The carnage and devastation that lay before him were a stark reminder of the brutal realities of conflict, and the Sultan's expression was tinged with a mix of sadness and resolve. He knew that the pursuit of power and glory often came at a terrible price, but he also understood that the imperatives of statecraft and the duty to protect his people sometimes demanded difficult choices. In the aftermath of the battle, Suleiman turned his attention to diplomacy, seeking to navigate the complex web of alliances and rivalries that characterized international relations during his reign. His correspondence with European leaders, including King Francis I of France, reveals a deep understanding of statecraft and a keen appreciation for the nuances of diplomatic communication. In a letter dated 1526, Suleiman wrote to Francis I, who am the Sultan of Sultans, the King of Kings, the shadow of God on earth, have deigned to write to you with my own hand, in order to inform you of my friendship and affection towards you. This exchange highlights the intricate dance of diplomacy that Suleiman performed with such skill, as he sought to balance the competing interests of his empire with the need to maintain a delicate equilibrium of power in Europe. One of the most defining moments of Suleiman's career came in 1529, when he laid siege to Vienna, the capital city of the Habsburg Empire. Although the Ottoman army ultimately failed to capture the city, the campaign marked a significant turning point in the history of European-Ottoman relations and cemented Suleiman's reputation as a formidable military leader. As Suleiman navigated the treacherous landscape of international politics, he was guided by a deep sense of duty and responsibility towards his empire and his people. His commitment to justice and fairness is reflected in the Ottoman law code, which he implemented during his reign. This comprehensive system of laws helped to establish a more equitable and just society, and its influence can still be seen in the legal systems of many modern-day countries. The impact of Suleiman's reign on the Ottoman Empire was profound. His military conquests expanded the empire's borders, while his administrative reforms helped to establish a more efficient and effective system of government. The cultural and artistic achievements of his reign, including the construction of magnificent mosques and palaces, continue to inspire wonder and admiration today. As Suleiman looked out upon his empire, he knew that his legacy would be measured not only by his military triumphs, but also by the enduring institutions and traditions that he had established. He was a true statesman, military leader, and patron of the arts, whose vision and leadership had helped to shape the course of European and Middle Eastern history for centuries to come. As Suleiman's reign entered its final decade, the weight of his years and the strain of constant warfare began to bear down upon him. The Ottoman-Habsburg Wars, which had raged across the battlefields of Europe for decades, had taken a toll on his resources. testing the mettle of his empire and pushing his military machine to its limits. Despite these challenges, Suleiman remained resolute, driven by an unwavering commitment to his vision of a strong and just empire. His health, however, began to decline, and the Sultan's once unyielding vigor started to wane. One of the most pivotal events of Suleiman's later years was the tragic execution of his son and heir, Mustafa, in 1553. This devastating blow was sparked by rumors of Mustafa's supposed treachery, which were skillfully manipulated by the intrigues of Suleiman's other son, Selim. The loss of his beloved son weighed heavily on Suleiman, casting a dark shadow over his life and marking a turning point in his reign. The execution of Mustafa was a stark reminder that even the most powerful leaders are not immune to the cruel whims of fate and the treacherous currents of court politics. As the years went by, Suleiman became increasingly reclusive, surrounding himself with a small circle of trusted advisors and relying on his Grand Vizier Rustem Pasha to manage the affairs of state. Despite his declining health, Suleiman remained a formidable leader, and his empire continued to thrive under his guidance. His strategic mind, though somewhat dulled by the patina of age, still shone brightly, illuminating the path forward for his people. In the quiet moments, when the din of war and the intrigue of court politics receded, Suleiman would often reflect on his many accomplishments and the legacy he would leave behind. In a poignant letter to his son Selim, he wrote, "I have spent my life in the service of God and the state, and I have never sought to enrich myself or to indulge in idle pleasures." These words capture the essence of Suleiman's character, a man driven by duty, honor, and a deep sense of responsibility. They reveal a leader who had dedicated his life to the pursuit of greatness, not for personal aggrandizement, but for the greater good of his empire and his people. It was on this campaign, on September 7, 1566, that Suleiman the Magnificent passed away, surrounded by his loyal troops and advisors. His death marked the end of an era, and his empire would never be the same without him. The news of his passing sent shockwaves throughout the land, as if the very foundations of the Ottoman Empire had been shaken. And yet, even in death, Suleiman's legacy endured. He was remembered as a just and fair ruler, a brilliant military strategist, and a patron of the arts. His name became synonymous with wisdom, courage, and vision, inspiring generations of leaders, scholars, and artists to come. We see a leader who was both strong and weak, wise and flawed, just and ruthless. And yet, it was precisely this complex tapestry that made Suleiman so remarkable, a true giant of history who continues to inspire and fascinate us to this day. In the end, Suleiman's story serves as a powerful reminder of the enduring power of vision, leadership, and character. It shows us that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, always a way forward, always a chance to build something greater than ourselves. As we march toward our own destiny, we would do well to remember the lessons of Suleiman's life. That true greatness is not achieved through conquest or domination, but through the pursuit of wisdom, justice, and compassion. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory,